Antifa attempts murder again. Hospitalizing Matthias Thorpe of Boston Free Speech. Interview with Chris Bartley of Boston Free Speech. December 1st, 2017 at Cambridge, Massachusetts at the Harvard Coop, which serves as the campus bookstore for Harvard and MIT. There was a talk by Mark Bray, the author of Antifa, the Anti-Fascist Handbook, and the Boston Free Speech people were there. People, if you don't remember, Boston Free Speech are the people who put on this event right here. I did a video about this event. There's a link in the video description below for that and for everything else I'm going to mention in this video. Chris Bartley and Matthias Thorpe of Boston Free Speech were there at the Harvard Coop to ask the author of this book some perfectly valid questions, which were, of course, shut down and attacked, and now Matthias is in the hospital with multiple fractures to his face. Right now you're seeing Chris Bartley's Periscope video of Matthias Thorpe in the hospital, which we will view in part, and following that we will view my interview with Chris Bartley about all of this. Matthias needs your help. He doesn't have medical insurance, folks, and he needs to pay his hospital bills. There'll be a link to help out with that in the video description below, as well as a link to the Periscope video and everything else. Please spread the word about all of this. Share the fundraiser link all over social media. Share this video. Share Chris's Periscope video. Get this word out to media people. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Also, there will be contact information in the links below to the Harvard Coop. Please implore them to share their security video footage of this attack. These attackers were not masked. Let's find them and deliver them to the law, people. So put the pressure on Harvard Coop. Again, links for everything in the video description below. Let's get right into it.
Alright, so we're live. This is Matthias. We were just at the Mark Bray talk, Antifa Fascist Handbook, and I'm going to have Matthias tell his story about what happened.
So we went to the talk, and it seemed like there were a lot of people there that kind of subscribed to sort of a communist, at least, ideology. And I don't know if they were necessarily Antifa or what they were, but it seemed like there were just some characters that you know who were at least leftist. A lot of those people hanging around. We went to the talk. I felt like we were pretty good. I mean, we didn't heckle too much, but just having a good time. And I asked a question, and one of the questions I asked was, communism, it has developed into a fascist type of ideology in the historical past, and basically my question was, is communist fascism that killed over 150 million people worse than Nazi or Mussolini fascism that they were supposedly fighting against? I didn't even really get my question through until Mark was kind of just slubbing me off and saying, "Oh, your question is communism fascism?" And he didn't answer the question, and so we heckled a little bit, and in the end I was kind of just like, "Oh, Trump, 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 build the wall," just having a good time. And there was actually another person with us who got attacked by these guys inside the store. A little bit of pushing, nothing real serious, and so they kicked us out of the store. And I mean, we didn't really do anything except just do a little bit of heckling. Anyways, we left the store. We had a talk with Tyjon, or whatever his name is. He seemed like he was alright. He wasn't, looking to hurt anybody. We had a little bit of conversation with him and some other guys, and we were just hanging around Harvard Square for a bit. No problems. We ended up going back to the Coop, hanging out. I talked with one guy who asked a pretty good question, and, he was talking about Charles Murray. And we had a conversation. Everything was good. And there was another guy who was kind of just hanging around, and he looked kind of suspicious, so we were just talking with him. It seemed like he was just hanging out. I don't know what his deal was. But I talked with him for a while. Again, had a really good conversation. And as I was about to leave, so, one of Chris's friends came back and was talking with me, and I don't want to give her name because I don't know exactly if she wants to be identified. But she came back, and we were about ready to head out and meet up with Chris. And this group of people came out. This girl comes by. She says, "This guy's a Nazi." And before I could even respond verbally, another girl from that group, some short girl, started throwing fists at me. And so I kind of backed off, and I was fighting them off. And I was sort of fighting this smaller group. Somebody came up from behind me and grabbed me. And it seemed like it was a bigger person. And it seemed like there were some bigger people in the group that started hitting me in the face. And most of the punches weren't that bad, except for this one person, like, really hit hard. And, like, I don't remember exactly what happened in between, but somehow they either like got off of me, or I kind of got myself out of the situation, and they sort of spread out. And so I was pretty pissed off at this point, and I was like, you know, these people aren't going to hit me and hurt me without, like, me, you know, at least getting something in there, you know. So I went back after them again, and they kind of came back in again, circled me, grabbed me, hit me again. The guy who was hit hard hit me like 3 or 4 times in the face. I was bleeding everywhere. You know, my nose was bleeding, everything was bleeding. And at that point, I was like pretty much done. So I was like, between that, they were walking off like in such a stride that it was almost like they didn't care that they were going to be identified. It's not like they like, you know, grabbed. Like, it's not like they hit me and ran off. They hit me. They hung around for a little bit, and as I went back and you know, tried to fight them off again, they came back, and then I don't know what happened. I was just kind of on the ground. You know, I didn't pass out. I didn't get knocked out. I wasn't unconscious or anything. But you know, I was just on the ground, like, just in pain. And yeah, we called the ambulance, and they were gone. So, like I said, if I identify them, I would probably be able to identify a couple of them from the talk, from the live stream of the talk. But I was just really surprised that, like, right out in front of the bookstore, in the middle of Harvard Square, where, like, everybody is, at, like, I think it was like 9 o'clock or something like that, they were just without a mask, nothing. They were just so adamant about hurting me.
I think it's the scaring tactics brought on by left that make them so scared of. I just think it's just because of, if you're a straight white male, they're scared of you now.
Well, I don't know, because the thing is like, you know, my picture's on the Antifa website.
Yeah.
It's on the It's Going Down or whatever as an organizer of this free speech rally. So, you know, the listing that was underneath that that Facebook post was that we were alt-right trolls. That Garrett and I were alt-right trolls. And the girl, you know, Sarah Billman or whatever her name was, she was accusing us of, like, being white supremacists and all this bullshit. And so yeah, we were just there, and that was the headline. But the thing is the climate right now is so bad that anybody who attended this free speech rally, or anybody who organized this free speech rally, people honestly believe that we're Nazis. After all of the number of times that we've said that we were not Nazis, the number of times that we've proven that we're not, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, how much evidence do these guys need in order to realize that they're freaking retarded? I mean, they're stupid. And
there was a part of Mark Bray's talk that he was like, well, the right thinks that it's just a bunch of football game, like fanfare kind of thing that the Antifa does. And I was like, that's exactly it. That's exactly. I think they know that they can get away with anything, and they're a bunch of punks that just they think that they can get away with anything.
I mean, they were so confident.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they were just so outraged or they were so confident, but they were so confident that.
All right. Hi. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
Let me.
All right. We'll be back, guys.
Today is December 2nd, and yesterday, I believe, it was December 1st in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Am I correct?
Yes.
There was a talk for the author of Antifa, the Antifa Handbook. I forget exactly what it is. Do you remember?
Antifa Fascist Handbook by Mark Bray.
There you go. I did order that from Amazon just a short while ago. Not because I want to give that person any money, but because I want to understand the mind of the enemy. So there was a talk by this guy, and did you attend, or did Matthias attend?
I was there, and it was 4 of us there. 3 of us originally that showed up, and then we saw one person that was from the Free Speech Rally a couple weeks ago that we had in Boston Free Speech Rally in November.
Okay.
She came and she saw us, so she stayed with us. So what happened was the whole entire talk was done perfectly. We had a little heckling, kind of smiles because we thought it was like ridiculously stupid, some of his arguments and everything. And then we came to the question and answer section, and we basically gave him hard questions, and he did not answer those hard questions.
My question was, is communist fascism that killed 150 million people worse than Nazi fascism, which killed 6 million Jews?
He said that before he even got his question fully out, they started yelling at him. And that room started going crazy. Which is interesting. Yes. I've seen this time and time again. I'm currently in the middle of working on a video where Carlos, a Berkeley warrior hero, just as he was saying something, just as he almost gets to the point, he was physically attacked. The phone was smacked out of his hand. We see this time and time again.
Don't even get...
Okay, guys.
They know where you're going. Go ahead.
We were asked, and everybody was asked, to not use their cell phones to record anything during the talk.
Okay.
That's why nothing was recorded by us. But however, the ACLU was up front. I believe it was Rosa Negra Antifa people. They were up front and recording it.
And nobody seemed to care?
No one, I don't think anyone cared.
That's interesting because same author did a talk, I'm not sure, somewhere on the West Coast, but Gabriel Silva of Patriot Prayer, if you know who that was, he attended the same author's talk somewhere in the West Coast. I know Patriot Prayer is out of Portland, but it may have been California. But he was secretly recording, and they saw that he did that, and they all but hit him. I mean, they wanted to hit him so bad.
Well, we had a really good discussion. There was one person that got shoved by some Antifa. He got thrown out of the bookstore.
So we had a guy, he tried to intimidate us, and somebody pushed one of our other people here in the group.
And then me and Matthias and that girl were staying there until I said a little bit louder than usual. I was like, "Hey, is that Alex Blanca?" And I just said that. And as soon as I said that, the security came out of nowhere and said, "You have to leave."
Wow.
We literally just got kicked out of that place right over there. Right there,
The Harvard Coop.
The Harvard Coop.
We didn't just get kicked out, we got escorted out.
We got escorted out. We got escorted out after the anti-fascist handbook author talk. And all I said, I didn't even heckle anybody. I was just like...
You were well behaved.
Yeah, I was actually, yeah. He said sue them.
Worse.
I actually didn't even say, I was just like, "Hey, is that Alex Blanca?" I just said, "As Alex Blanca," and like, they were like, "You have to get out. You have to get out." And I'm like, I just asked a question. I was like, "Is that Alex Blanca?" That's it. Sue them for violating your rights. Yeah, we could do that. So this one started screaming Trump, Trump, Trump after the thing. And I was like,
build
the wall, exactly.
So we go in outside. We were outside for an hour. And then I was like, "All right, we're about to head home." I go walk over to an area where I can get an Uber. And I walked with a girl since I thought Matthias was safe in that particular spot. Because he was talking to somebody and he looked like just some random guy. So I thought he was safe at that point. So me and that girl just went around the corner. I got the Uber to the bar I usually go to on Friday. I went over to the bar. I texted the girl, and I said, are you back with Matthias?
Okay.
And she said yes. So I pulled away my phone. And I just wanted to, check my phone just because there was nothing going on at the bar. And I look at my phone, and all it says, he's got jumped, he's bleeding everywhere, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta do something. So I was waiting for the actual to open up. I got my wristband. You can still see the stamp right there.
Yes.
So I got my wristband, got my stamp, and I left. I said, I'm gonna go to the hospital because that's where we made sure he was gonna go, was to the hospital. Now, the reason why he had it, this is the other part of the story. He was kind of not wanting to go to the hospital at first because he has no health insurance.
Right.
However, a lot of us came together and we were like, we're going to get a fundraiser going, and we already have a fundraiser going. It's on YouGiving. So there's a link on my Twitter profile. It's the pinned tweet at the top.
Okay.
And it basically says, help Matthias's hospital bills. What happened with the attack was 2 girls came out from the store, and they basically came flying out the store and went screaming, "He's a Nazi, he's a Nazi." And 5 to 7 other guys came over from behind and went right behind Matthias. So he had 5 to 7 people behind him, and then the 2 girls punching in front of him.
Right.
And they came like that. He had to get out of there. He was trying to get through it, and he was just punching as much as he could, and he got through it, and there was blood everywhere. They kicked the other girl that he was with,
right,
out of the way. She was screaming her head off.
Wow.
And I basically was like, go get the ambulance, call 911, get into the hospital. I'll meet him at the hospital. And I was the first one at the hospital, and I came flying in that hospital, and I said, this is the, I don't know if I should say funny part, but it was kind of dramatic.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if they were going to let me in, because he had no family contact around this area. He had no health insurance. I was like, I'm coming in, like, full force. So I came into the building, and I said, I need to see Matthias. I said, I need to see Matthias Thorpe. What room number is he in? And the front desk lady was like, let me see with the nurse and doctor if you can go in. And some woman came flying out the back of the room,
okay,
the waiting room, and she said, "Room 11, go in right now." Because I think what happened was his case, or what happened to him, got all around the hospital.
Oh.
So they knew how serious he was and everything.
Right.
Yeah, and we were there until I think midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning. And we found that he had 3 fractures on his face.
Wow.
And they basically were trying to get his whole entire face destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually they were trying to murder him. Like, that's what I keep on saying is,
yeah,
if they could murder him, they would have.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Do you know anything about was a police file report? I mean, was a police report filed by Matthias or anything like that? And do you know if anybody got any video of the attackers?
So tonight, yes, there was a police report filed. Tonight, we started to apply pressure to Harvard Coop.
Okay.
Harvard Coop is the person who has the videos. We're going to also apply pressure to Harvard University, I believe. We're going to go to the police. We're going to try to get those videos. We could figure out who those people were. Definitely, because the hall, or the front entrance to the coop, was right there, and the scuffle happened right in front of the coop,
where there would be security cameras.
Where there would be tons of security cameras,
right,
like shit tons.
Yeah.
So all we need is get those security camera footage, and we got them.
Okay. Now I'm going to put a link in the video.
But it's trying to get to those security cameras. That's the hard part.
Right. Okay.
And we're working with a lawyer and everything to get those.
I'm going to put a link in the video description, of course, to the fundraiser for Matthias. But of course, if and also to your Twitter, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And then
definitely.
also whatever information I can gather, or the contact information for the Coop, to get people to pressure them to release this, if that would be helpful. I believe it would be.
If they delete the footage, we know that they're at fault, and they're going to be liable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Right, and I mean, there are so
that's a good case right there.
And these groups, they're already being investigated by the feds, and I mean, this would be part of an overall. This may be part of an overall federal investigation into all this, and if they're going to do something like delete the footage or something like that, that would not be wise. I mean, the city government of Berkeley
could possibly be shut down.
What's that?
Harvard Coop could possibly be shut down because of that.
Right. I mean, the entire city of Berkeley is being investigated by the feds about this kind of stuff. So, I mean, an institution like that, it's not even the city. They could get in very big trouble for this. So, let's hope they don't do that. And it's amazing to me. I've seen already on Reddit people saying, and this is so horrible, it was fake, but I wish it wasn't.
What? What was fake?
I've seen people on Reddit replying or commenting on what happened to Matthias, saying the attack was fake. It didn't happen, as if he's not in a hospital there. You can tell he's in a hospital. They're saying it didn't happen.
I've seen that too, and I was pretty thrown off by that. I was very surprised that people would actually say that.
Yeah, to stoop to that level, it just shows the level of hate. They're like, no hate speech. Nazis are bad, whatever, and then look into their own hearts. It's so vile. It's so full of hate and bile. It's amazing.
Well, the thing is, once we get those tapes, once we get those footage, they are going to get screwed royally.
Yes.
Because once they get those footage, and once they get that security footage and get that everywhere nationally, Antifa's going down. They're done.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Because the thing is, it's right out of Antifa talk too.
Sure.
So the evidence of an Antifa attack is undeniable.
Indeed. Yep. And we could add it to a list of attempted murder. I mean, Eric Clanton allegedly, he still hasn't had his fair trial. I'm going to say that, but the bike lock attacker, who was most likely Eric Clanton, did in fact attempt murder multiple times back in Berkeley. And as I've shown in videos, he's actually looked on while other people attacked innocent people, laughing. But yeah, this is yet another another case of attempted murder. I'm right now on the screen. You can't see it on your end, but right now on the screen, I'm showing video of Matthias in the hospital bed. Tell me, people, that this is fake. I mean, you see nurses, you hear the PA system. Did you take that video, by the way?
I was the one who took that video. I was right behind it, and I was the one who wanted to do that video because some people were like, get a video of him in that situation. So I asked Matthias, I said, do you want to do this video? And he said yes. And I said, how far do you want us to go with getting this out there? Because I wanted to ask him first before I did anything. He said, I want to get this everywhere because he was pissed last night. The adrenaline was so high for him. It was like he just wanted to do as much damage to Antifa as possible.
Right.
And he was looking out for the country as like the most, and which says a lot about Matthias.
Yeah. Wow, Matthias, man. I hope he's okay. Do you have any news about his prognosis?
Well, today he stayed in bed all day. I was actually in here too because I was in here for a different reason. I was trying to keep up with everything going on from Cassandra Fairbanks to Lucien Wintrek to Jim Hoff to Boston Herald to Boston Globe to Suffolk Free Radio to all these contacts. I need to get these contacts out there because this is huge. This is something that goes all around the country, and it hasn't touched Boston, and it finally has touched Boston.
Yeah.
And we need to go, and I'm gonna say something extremely extremely like vile right now, but we need to go after these motherfuckers as much as possible because they are going to not stop.
Yeah.
And just today at 8 a.m. in the morning in Somerville, they spray canned entire house, an entire Jeep in Somerville, which is right next to Cambridge.
Okay.
Trump is an idiot. Trump is a fascist. Trump is racist. All over a truck. I'll show you. If I can put like pictures on this screen right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this. It actually says Trump fucker. So this is one of the pictures.
We could see that.
Yeah. And this is the front of the vehicle. And this happened just this morning.
In Somersville.
So, Somerville, which is right next to Cambridge, which is where he lives, actually.
Right, okay.
He lives in Somerville. So, this just shows me that from last night to this going on in Somerville, it shows me that Berkeley has come to Boston, basically, and they're looking for a fight, and we're going to make sure that we utilize the sources that we have as the feds are looking into it and everything, but we have to do our part in Massachusetts too.
Yeah, right. And everywhere else, man. Everybody out there, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a Periscope, whatever it is, if you have some kind of platform, even if you're just somebody on social media, share this everywhere, man. Get the word out. And see the links in my video description. See the links in my video description and make sure you share that in your posts.
Yes. And I keep on trying to get this out there any way possible because this is how we expose them. We expose the tactics that they use. They're not out there. They keep on saying they're out there to get rid of fascism and get rid of Nazism. However, what they don't realize is where's the Nazism, where's the fascism, where's the white supremacy and everything. People, and especially the new right, what they call new right, like to Ali Akbar, to Lucien Winter, they have denounced actual white supremacists, white nationalists.
Yeah.
Richard Spencer, Nicholas Fuentes, James Alsop. They've denounced these people and they don't want anything to do with them. I actually know Nick Fuentes personally. I went to school with him in Boston, and he's a good guy, but the thing is, his ideology is whack. Like, it's literally Nazism. Like, if you're looking for a white ethno state, you're looking for a Nazi state, which is what these actual white supremacists are all for.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And that's something that Lucien has denounced. That's something that Ali Akbar has denounced. That's something Milo has even denounced. And like, all these people have denounced all this, and they don't realize it. Like, if you want to go, like, even the thing called punching a Nazi is kind of it's stupid. It's stupid.
It's very stupid. And this is a debate stopper right here. When I see somebody posting about stuff like that, it's okay to punch a Nazi, and I go looking for this crap. I ask them, how do you go about determining if the person who is accused of being a Nazi is actually a Nazi before you punch them? Okay?
Yeah.
Never get a rational answer. It's either delete, block, or F you Nazi, or whatever, but never, ever does anybody even attempt to answer that question.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you ignore these white supremacists and these people that have, like, as they call fascist ideologies, they will go away. And they don't think that they will, but they will, because this is America. This is not Europe.
Right.
In America, we have a free market of ideas and a free market of thoughts. So if we get people educated on the right issues, they'll disappear.
Yeah.
Kind of like how David Duke did. David Duke got disappeared for many years. Like, if we talked in 2013, if we had this talk right now, what we're having right now in 2013, would we even have David Duke as a topic? No, probably one person out of a million would talk about David Duke.
Sure.
And now it's like one person out of 10 freaking talking about Richard Spencer, and you're like, wait a second. I'm like, hold on. We were not talking about David Duke 4 years ago, but now we're talking about Richard Spencer now.
Yeah.
It's like, if we are stupid and they're idiotic, then let them go. And that's why all these people, like Lucien, like Ali, I'm part of that too, are making their whole livelihoods off of this craziness going on.
Yeah.
It's because it's just so. And that's why people like you are going on YouTube and talking about this, because it's crazy. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, it's idiotic.
And we are dealing with mass hysteria. We're dealing with a mental health crisis on a mass scale here.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's
Definitely.
what's most interesting to me is the mass psychology. I almost said mass psychology of fascism, as in Reich, but it's really the mass psychology of hysteria. I do know that Boston Free Speech is their official platform on free speech is, hey, if somebody has really horrible views, let them talk, because that's the best way to combat bad ideas is to shine a light on them, right? I mean, if you try to shut them up, you're just creating all this energy. I mean, look, Milo Yiannopoulos.
You're creating more.
Yeah.
Milo wouldn't be nothing without the Antifa trolls.
Right, and that's not to suggest, I'm not suggesting that Milo is a Nazi, because as you mentioned,
I love Milo to death. I love him.
Great. He's come out.
I'm not saying anything bad either.
Yeah, he's come out and said he's against white nationalism so many times on video, and I put the challenge out there for people, show me in his own words him supporting white nationalism. The only thing you'll find is him denouncing white nationalism. So, not to suggest that he is a Nazi in any way, but what I'm saying here is that the more you try to shut people up with violence, the more you're going to just put all that energy into it. And really what it is, it's building up for the punchline, which is history will look back and see that you, and I'm referring to Antifa now, you, Antifa, and all you BAMN people, and the people who try to shut down Milo and other people like Matthias and etc., history is going to look back, and you are not going to look good, okay? And I will make sure that your names and your faces are in the history textbooks as these people who did things like, say, attacking Matthias and putting him in a hospital simply for stating facts like communism has killed millions of people.
So I was just looking at a message from Matthias and the Google Hangouts that we have. He said, I'm hanging in there. Someone asked him, how are you feeling today? He said, I'm hanging in there, bloodied and battered, but I'm still alive. I just want to let you know that there was blood everywhere, and I can send you more pictures. I took a picture of his legs. His legs had blood spatters all the way down his legs. The hospital bed had blood all the way around it, too.
Oh, Matthias, man.
Yes.
Oh, the pain. Oh, goodness. I hope that this puts Matthias's lawyer in a higher tax bracket, if you know what I mean. I hope that this whole thing, I hope this goes to court, and I hope it puts Matthias's lawyer in a higher tax bracket, if you know what I mean. This is horrible. Oh, goodness. Wow. Everybody, make sure you get the word out. And make sure you tell people, if you know like somebody in your family who thinks that Antifa is cool or anything like that, show them this video. Make them Google the video series, Who Does Antifa Actually Attack? You know, we're talking members of almost every marginalized group now, including a couple of animal species, have been attacked by Antifa by now. This is horrible. This can't stand. These are domestic terrorists.
They are. The Antifa fake Twitter accounts. You know how there's like a shit ton of fake Twitter accounts. Well, one of them was very funny just now. A couple of minutes ago, they sent out a really hilarious tweet. And we knew they were fake because the way that they were talking to us, it was the Beverly Hills Antifa. It was asking us like what happened in the situation, almost like they were almost asking us like they cared about
probably
us. Do. And it was like, yeah, it was like, wait a second.
That's awesome.
Like yeah. So this is what Beverly Hills Antifa actually just put out. And it says Harvard Antifa putting in work. And then it has these people dancing.
Tilt it a little bit more.
So when I saw this, I was like, "Oh my god, these people are so fake." But the real ones, the real Antifa accounts, there are real Antifa accounts out there, and they blocked me. Like, there's one person that blocked me earlier today. See if I can find that one. There we go. Clearwater, Florida, Antifa.
Yeah, okay, we can see that.
Yeah. Clearwater, Florida, Antifa blocked.
Which means they're afraid.
Yeah. Usually the ones who block me, I know, are the ones who are real Antifa groups.
Yep. Yeah, it's safe to say, man.
Yeah, the ones who don't block me and the ones who keep on talking to us, we're like, yeah, you're fake.
Well, let's not give too many even more. I think Beverly Hills, I think that's so obvious we could just mention that as fake. But there are other ones that are riding that little gray area. Yeah. Like, we dare you to believe this. Oh goodness. Yeah. All right.
And especially after that picture came out, I was like, really?
That's hilarious as hell. Oh goodness. Anything else that you'd like to tell the audience before we wrap this up?
I just want to get these people justice. I want these people who beat Matthias up in jail for a long time. We actually wanted them in jail for as long as they can possibly be in jail for assault. We're going after them for assault, and we're going after them for civil rights. We want to make sure that we can go to the fullest extent of the law, and then we want to get this everywhere we can. So please share this video. Please share this. My Twitter, I can attempt. I'm a student also, so I'll try to respond back to tweets if anyone needs any support anywhere else around the country. I want to be with Matthias, a leader in the patriot movement. I guess you could say it. The patriot movement of that American flag.
Patriot movement. I call it the free speech movement. Whatever.
Free speech movement. Let's do that too.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you very much for talking with us. I'll try to slap this video together as quick as possible with all my technical difficulties. It may not be on this calendar day, maybe the 3rd by the time I have this out here. But thank you very much, and if you could send along to Matthias our love and encouragement and our appreciation for doing what he does, and also to you, we appreciate you doing what you do.
Thank you. I love doing this for the flag, for the servicemen that have served our country, and for the President of the United States.
Right on, man. And for free speech, civil rights, all that.
Yeah, we're going after them for civil rights.
Yeah, and for me, that's what it comes down to.
So that's going to be definitely part of the case.
Man. Well, thank you once again. I appreciate you talking with us, and I appreciate that you were even involved, and I appreciate that at least Matthias has you there watching him and all that. And wow, thank you for everything you do. Any last words to the audience?
No, I thought I said my word, because the thing is, the Antifa just needs to go down. They're destroying people's lives. They're terrorizing Americans, and they need to come to justice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, you have a good night.
All right. See you later. Bye.